Welcome again from our previous video. We last saw how we can install a Windows Server 2019 on our VirtualBox, and now in this video we shall try to interact with the interfaces that are available in our server environment. So let's begin. Okay, I will press my Ctrl Alt and Delete. That's what it's requiring us. And so I put my password. And so I press enter to log in into my server. So here is our server environment. We have on our start icon here, we can try to access our server manager here, which is right here. I prefer to pin it on my taskbar, and the more I come to taskbar. So now we have our server manager right down here. Let me try to click on it. Okay, so there we have our interface. Okay, so this is basically what our server manager looks like. We have the dashboard, we have the local server right here, we have all other services that are available here. So currently we're under the work group. This is the computer name that we're using. Okay, we can change this. Okay, we can change this, and also down here we have our Ethernet. This is where we can change our IP address for our server. Remember, it's preferable that we install a static IP address on our computer. So right here where IP version is, IP version 4, I double click on this. Currently it's updating automatically, but I prefer to use a static one. So I will give it 192.168.10.10. That'd be for our server. This is it has a default subnet mask of 255.255.0. Then our default gateway, we'll give it 10.1. So the preferred DNS in case we need, we shall use that 168.10. Okay, the 10. That will be our preferred DNS. So I will say OK in this case, and then say OK here, and then close that. So if we try to refresh now our server, we should at least so eventually now we have our IP address. We have assigned an IP address to our server over that. So maybe change the computer name. You can just click on that, and then you go to change. Maybe let's just call it server 1. I prefer to call it server 1 because you may have multiple servers, or just maybe server main, or the main server. I don't know which works better. Main server, then you can have server 1, you can have so on. So for now, we don't have a domain, so just maintain a work group. So just say OK, and that is it. So for us to be able to have those changes accepted, we have to restart. So click on restart here, and then close this. So it says restart now. Yes, you can restart now for the purpose, or you can restart later, but let me restart now. So that is it. Okay, our system is restarting. Okay, so there we are. Our machine has restarted. So I press my Ctrl Alt and Delete, and I enter my password, say enter, and there we go. So this time around, let our server manager tell us what we have. Okay, so now we're told under the local server right here, you should be able to see some changes. Now our server is called main server, we're still in the work group and so on. So we have our IP address working very well. On this other side, we can change also our time zone, even the Windows Defender here. We can turn this off. This one sometimes may not really be so good. And also on this other side, we have firewall which is on. I can turn this off. Okay, firewall is active. Okay, this I can turn it off, and then we'll restart that. Okay, that should be able to do for now. That should be able to do for now. On the other hand, we need to change our time zone. Our time zone right here. Just come to change time zone. Look for because we're in East Africa, so we can look for that down here. Oh, right here. That should be able to work for us. And then say okay. So by refreshing this, we should have our time zone changed. So that is what we have so far as this is concerned. Now we're going to go ahead and install an Active Directory on our server. So that one we shall have to go to where it says tools right here. Right here where it says manage, and then we shall add roles and features. So click on add roles, and then this wizard will come that will help guide us on how everything will be done. Just press next. We're going to use role-based or feature-based installation, so just click on next. And so here it has chosen our server, which is what we want exactly, and then say next. So what we're going to install is what we're calling the Active Directory Domain Services, this particular service here, or this particular role here. So just click on that, and then we shall have to add those features. So the Active Directory Domain Services basically helps us store information about objects on the network and makes this information available to users, and so on and so forth. ADDS uses domain controllers to give network users access to permitted resources anywhere on the network through a single logon process. So which means this is going to control how everything is going to run on our server. So I'll just click on next, and then click on next, and so the rest just accept, say next, and then right here finally install. So this will run for a few minutes. So as it is running, we can wait. Okay, so it's almost complete. This should take us about a minute as we install the Active Directory Domain Services, which will help us to manage all users within our organization. Okay, so our installation is complete, so we shall have to close this right here, and after closing it, we have a certain notification up here. When I click on it, it will tell me you have to go ahead and promote this server to become a domain controller. So what we do, we just click on that right there, and then we go ahead and we're given alternatives here. Do you want to add a domain controller to an existing domain? Of course, we don't have yet a domain. Do you want to add a new domain to an existing forest? We don't have a new forest. So what you do, you say add a what? A new forest. That's the only alternative we have. Then we shall give it a domain name for this particular one of mezid.com. Okay, so that's our domain name that we're giving our server. So we'll go ahead and say next. Okay, so under the functional levels here, would prefer that our domain controller will be able to work even on servers as low as 2012. So I will give it a functional level of 2012 such that it's backward compatible to any server that is as low as 2012. So that will work for us. And then the password, I'll give it a password that is good enough. Okay. That is it. So then we can leave this domain name system server and then the global catalog. And so we just press next right here. And then go next. And then eventually it will have to give us a NetBIOS domain name of Mizd. Should be able to appear there as it proceeds with the installation. Now here it is. We have Mizd appearing there. And then all we do is click next right here. Okay. It's amazing. So the rest of these NTDS, systvol and all that, we just have to leave them as default as they appear there. And then we'll go next. This will give us a certain script here. This you can save it for reference purposes. In case you forget something, this information will be very vital. So you can view script, and then right here you can go ahead and save it. Maybe save. Okay. Just call it, let's say, save as. I would prefer to save it on my desktop. Desktop right here. I would like to call it ADDS, Active Directory Domain Service. That is it. So this, we shall use it for reference purposes, just in case we get into trouble somewhere. So right here you go next, and then it's going to verify some prerequisites to check whether there's any problem with what we have configured so far. If all goes well, it will tell us everything is okay, and then that will be it. Wow, all prerequisite checks have passed successfully, so which means all our things have been so good. So what we do, we just now say install. Okay, then it begins the installation process. Okay, so we're told that the computer is being restarted because Active Directory Domain Services was installed or removed. So it's restarting the system automatically. Okay. Okay, it is restarting. Okay, it's applying all the changes that have been done to our server. Okay. Okay, finally it's done with the restarting. So I'll press Ctrl Alt and Delete on my machine to be able to access this. And so enter my password. Okay. There we go. There we go. So our machine is back. So let's wait and see what the server manager will tell us this time around. Okay. So these are our few services that we have. Right here we should be able to have an active directory domain service installed somewhere here. So let's just wait for a minute. Okay. So if you notice, right now we have our ADDS here installed, which is our active directory domain service, and also on our local server right here. Now you can see we have our main server, which is for this institution. Then we have the mizd.com, which is our domain. So our IP address here is all correct. So on our dashboard generally we have so far these services installed. Now we're going to proceed and also install another major role or another major service that we need, which we're calling DHCP. So as we did earlier on, we shall just come to our manage here, and then we shall add roles and features. So I click on that, and then proceed to next. we're still using role based, so say next. And then where you're installing it on this very same server, yes, that is true, go next. And then right here we shall select our DHCP server, which is this. So we add the features, and basically this DHCP will basically enable us to centrally configure and manage and provide temporary IP addresses and related information for client computers, which means this helps us to assign IP addresses to computers automatically. We shall see how important it is, because the times when you need to you're managing more than thousands of computers, you may not assign IP addresses to them statically. So you need to use the DHCP server to help us assign those services to those given clients. So from here, all you have to do is say next, and then accept the changes by saying next, and then also click next. So this will prompt it will now tell us to install, so you just click on next, and the process begins. Okay, so it's installing, so can just wait for a minute or so and we shall be done. Okay, almost there. Okay, finally we're done with the installation of DHCP. However, we shall be required to complete its configuration. So you just come right here where it says complete configuration, and then you click on that. And so here we have a wizard that will try to help us to follow the prompts of what we're supposed to do. So right here, just come and say next. And we're using this administrator, this server name, which is correct. Just say commit, this is right. Then we shall need to create, of course, the DHCP scopes and all that, but for now we just close this wizard, and this is done for this part. So now we have our DHCP right here. However, in our notification right here, under the configuration of DHCP, there's what we're calling the post deployment configuration, which is basically meant to add in other tasks or other configurations in order to have this complete. So now there, what we do, we shall go to our tools right here, our tools, and then we'll proceed to where it says DHCP. Just click on that, and from there the rest of the configurations will be done within this. So we choose, go to our server, which is this. Let me try to extend this a bit, and then specifically we're going to deal with IP version 4. So right here we shall just right click on this, and then we'll create a new scope. So we're given this wizard that will try to help us through. So by clicking next, it will tell us what's the name of the scope that you're putting here, that you're choosing. You can just call it scope 1. Okay, description may not be necessary, but it will help you, of course, if you desire. So then we'll say next, and then here it will tell us you need to define the scope address range by identifying a set of consecutive IP addresses. So our setup IP address will basically be 192.168.10.1. You can begin from maybe 1. Okay, and then the end IP address will basically be 192.168.10, maybe .100. Okay, so it has automatically given us a default subnet mask of a class C network. So with this, we just say next. Then what exclusions would we desire to have here? What IP addresses would we prefer not to be tampered with? So in this case, I would say 192.168.10.1 up to 192.168.10.20. These will be reserved for some particular reasons. So we'll just say add this. So these are our reservation. So I'll just click on next here. So then we have what called the least duration. This basically specifies how long a given device on our network is going to be given this IP address. So by default, we're given a minimum duration of around 8 days. This basically for those that are always available. So we can just click next here. This is okay for me. And then, are you sure now you want to configure the DHCP options? Like you just say yes. And so, how about the router? What's our router? 192.168.10.1. Our router is using .1. So just click on next, and then eventually our parent domain is miss.com, which is true. And then this we can leave it the way it is. Just click on next, and then this is also not important. We'll just click on next here. So activate scope, like yes. Are you done? Yes, finish. So basically that's all it takes to install DHCP and also to configure our DHCP. Now we shall proceed from here. So basically this is how far with DHCP installation and configuration. I want us to look at another major service that is handled by our server, and this is what we're calling the group policies. Now in our tools, I want us to go to Active Directory Users and Computers right here. So under Active Directory Users and Computers, this is our domain right here. So under this, we are going to create some new, what we're calling new organization units. So here we're going to come to basically for now we'll come to new organization units. Now assuming you have a campus, and this campus maybe has branches. Let's call this maybe MZD. Okay, MZD main campus. Assuming we had one, which is main campus, and then we say that is that. So then we also create another. We create another new organization unit. This we're calling it maybe MZD Arua campus. Okay, so these are the two organization units we have created there. But then also within the MZD main campus, we can also go ahead and create other new organization units. Maybe one we can call it maybe computers, because within main campus we have computers. All the computers that can belong to organization which are found within that campus, we have computers. Okay, and then also we can say we also need another organization unit which we're going to call probably our users. Okay, these are the different people that are going to use our devices within that. The same applies to a raw campus. We shall also need another new organization unit, one for computers. Okay, so then maybe another we can have it for also users. Okay, then okay, assuming we had another campus, we can still go up here and then we'll create another new organization unit. Maybe this one we can now call it okay, we can call it MZD okay, MZD maybe Mbarara campus. Assuming this is where probably the headquarters is, we can say within MZD Mbarara campus we have another organization unit. Maybe we're going to say this one has IT department. I don't know what's the spelling for department. Maybe within Mbara campus we have another organization unit we're calling the science department. I don't know whether that is so. Department, and so on and so forth. So now, with these organization units, we can apply group policies. And so these group policies only work within what we're calling organization units. So it means that suppose I have certain policies I want to apply to visit main campus. It means, first of all those devices, all those users, all the computers must be within an organizational unit. It's possible that I may need to make some changes within the computers, or maybe the users that fall under the main campus. So it means I will just target only this particular group of users, and then I can be able to apply those changes. So let's see how we can be able to create users. Okay, right here, I want us to go to our users down here. Okay, currently, so you can see that in our list here we have what we're calling organization units, and then this one is just a container. This is managed. This is managed what? Managed service account. This is just a container. And so the changes we are able, whichever policies we're going to apply, whichever group policy we're going to apply to this, to these users here, must be within an organization unit in this given example. Okay, so assuming we go to our tools right here, and then we go to Active Directory users and computers right here, and then go and choose our users down here. I click on this. So these are the different users that we have so far in our organization. I can try to create a new user here. Maybe let me try to create one new user. Maybe John is called John Doe. Those are examples people always use, John Doe. So maybe the user logon name probably might be J Doe, something like that. And so when you click on next right here, we shall be required to create a password for this person. Okay. As a system administrator, I can create for this person a password, and then I may give him alternatives on what he's supposed to do with that given password as soon as he logs in that computer. For example, I can tell him, I can give him a password, maybe this. That is the password I've given him. Right there. And then I can say the user must change password upon next logon. As soon as he logs in, I'll give him an alternative. I'll prompt him to change a new password such that he can use what probably is much more compatible with other than the password probably that I gave him. There's also another alternative that assuming anybody created this password, I could say the user cannot, maybe the user cannot change the password, and probably the password also never expires. All those alternatives I can be able to work on them as an administrator. And probably suppose the user who was initially using our computer, or a member of our organization, probably leaves the organization. It is vital, maybe has gone for leave. Temporarily, we may have to disable the account such that when it comes back, all I have to do is just remove I enable it such that it's able to do what? To use it again. But suppose now here, we give this person, this client, we can say next, and then finish it. So John Doe here that we have created is one of the users we have in our computer. I can go ahead and right click on John Doe and go to properties right here, and then probably can say, let John Doe, let's add him to one of the groups that we've talked about. Maybe let's add him. He's going to be a user at Arua campus. Maybe Arua. Let me see whether we can search for that. What have I done? Enter the correct name. Mizidi Arua campus. Okay. Oh, connect the object to the information provided, blah blah blah. Okay, for now. So let's go ahead and add our John Doe to one of those different groups that we have created. So what you do, right click right here. You can say maybe add to group. Okay. So now say add to group. I can choose any of those groups that we have there. Maybe Mizidi, Mbarara. Mizidi Mbarara. Let me try to search for that. Okay, from this location, mizidi.com. Okay. Yes, right there. Let me see. What is not happening? What is not happening? Let me try to find out why. So suppose we add this John Doe. We want to add him to one of those campuses. And then we say maybe move him to maybe visit the main campus. But he's going to be basically a user. Put him there under users. It's okay. So now when we go to our visit main campus, and then we go to users right here, we have our John Doe right here. So also within this, we can be able to create other users that may fall under this category. For example, we'll come here, say we have another user, maybe Katunji. Okay, maybe Rashid. I don't know whether that name exists. So Rashid. So right here, we add this person right here. Give me a password. Okay. Okay. So we give this one also to change the password upon next logon. So we just say next right here and finish. So we have now two users that fall under the missed mini campus, but under users. So in case we have any changes that we desire to be conducted upon, or some policies we desire to be applied to these people, these users that fall under missed, we can just come to this particular organization unit and then apply those changes there. So then if we desire to have all the computers, it's just right here. We can just come and say apply those commands right here, those group policies up here on this particular given computers here. So under our settings, under our tools right here, we can now go ahead and say group policy management. After creating those organizational units, we can now go to our group policy management. And so when I apply those policies right here under that, it means it will be able to affect all the devices that fall under that kind of department. However, I may go ahead and apply those policies to particular given devices that fall, or particular groups that fall within that kind of organization. So within here, if I go ahead and say create a GPO, which is a group policy organization, and so I just click on that and then give it a new name. Maybe I can say this is maybe firewall. I want to apply a firewall upon all of them, or maybe I can say wallpaper. Wallpaper. I don't know whether that's the spelling for wallpaper. Wall is double L. Wallpaper. So it means this wallpaper, I may need to apply it upon all, upon all that fall within the organization, so such that it will be affected upon all of them. So this is possible because of this group policy management. So in our next video, we shall basically see how we can use the group policies to effect changes within our different departments or within our different organizations, such that we have make changes which are affected upon all departments or some departments or certain users within a given organization. So for now, thanks for watching. Till then, I remain yours, Emmanuel. Bye bye.